Carolina on the ride. Carolina on the rise.
What's up, everybody? Bill Mack here with another season of Panthers football here on the Panther Prowl. Glad everyone could join me for this video. This is my first video for the season. However, it is going into week 2. Sorry for not making a video last week. I didn't know whether I was going to make another video or not, but I chose to make one because I enjoy making them and, to get this out here. But as we go into week 2, of course, we have the Panthers taking on the Bucs. Now, as you remember last week's game, the Panthers came out, opened their home opener up against the Las Vegas Raiders, but fell just short at going 34-30. But it was a nice looking, and this is a new Panthers offense and defense, if you look at it, because this year the Panthers done quite a bit of house cleaning and rearranging. First and foremost, the head of the Panthers, the head coach, Ron Rivera, was released, and he was picked up by the Washington Redskins. However, the Panthers got the Baylor coach, Matt Rule, who came in with Joe Brady being his offensive coordinator. Of course, when the Panthers got a new offensive coordinator and new coaching staff to come in, Marty Hurney was kept, so they kept the same GM. New owner David Tepper wanted to have his own stamp mark, and why not having a new head coach in? Of course, we saw some departures. Cam Newton left. The Panthers didn't release him. He got picked up by the Patriots. We saw Luke Kuechly unexpectedly retire after having a stellar career for the Panthers. And, of course, Greg Olsen was released, signed with Seattle. So quite a few holes for the Panthers offense and defense to fill. However, we did have coming back Christian McCaffrey, the star running back, of course, who last year had 1,000 yards and 1,000 rushing and a receiving yards as well, to be just the third member of the 1,000-yard club. So glad to see him coming back, and let's just hope he stays healthy this week. But as we said, the Panthers will go on the road for their first test this season, away test, going to Tampa Bay. Now, Tampa Bay also had some changes to their roster as well, as they changed coaches. They changed their quarterback, of course. Tom Brady from the Patriots and Rob Gronkowski both came over from New England to Tampa Bay. And we're going to see how well they do in the NFC South. Of course, the NFC South is surrounded by great quarterbacks, with Matt Ryan, Tom Brady, and, of course, we have Drew Brees. And I will say this on the Panthers' part, Teddy Bridgewater done a great job in his first game. With the stats here, he went 22 for 34. He had 269 yards, one touchdown pass, which was a 75-yard bomb, to Robbie Anderson, which Robbie Anderson looked good. He did a little bit of talking. The Panthers offense did all right. We had Sly, of course, miss an extra point, which was a key extra point if you look down later in the game. But to me, I think he done good. Coach Christian McCaffrey, he had 23 rushes, 97 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. And, of course, Robbie Anderson, as I spoke to just now, had 6 catches for 114 yards. One of them on that 75-yard deep pass, and he got 1 touchdown off of that. So, speaking on the defense, we had Dante Jackson, of course. Unfortunately, he went down in the first quarter with an ankle injury. I still don't know the stats of that yet, just how serious it is. But we had a rookie come in and take up for him the rest of the game. The Panthers' defense, however, struggled. They're a young defense, as in the past year's draft. The Panthers took all 7 of their picks. They went defense, so they're going to be young. It's going to take growing pains, but in time, the Panthers, if they continue on, they're talented, especially when they drafted Derek Brown, with their first overall pick, and he did pretty good in his first game. So all they need to do is mesh it together. Now, their defense against the Raiders, their run defense, I would say, was the worst, because there was nothing really that they could do to stop Josh Jackson from, or Josh Jacobs, excuse me, from out rushing. He did a great job. The defense, of course, in my opinion, looked like it did with their run defense last year. And there was no sacks, so they couldn't rush. They weren't rushing the quarterback and getting to him enough. There was a few hurries, but nothing too serious. So this week, however, you're going to go against the Bucs, and the Bucs, of course, lost last week too, 34-23, while they went away to New Orleans Saints and against Drew Brees. So that is going to be interesting, and I'm just hoping that the Panthers have a good practice this week, and as they take on Tom Brady and they take on, that Buccaneers offense, which they're loaded with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. Now you got Gronk at tight end. They've got a great offense. The Panthers have to try to somehow and hopefully have a better practices, get better this week and improve. That's really all you can ask out of your defense. How will they respond? Because last week, what really hurt the Panthers and from being able to at least tie or get the win was there was a failed 4th and 1, and of course Matt Rule was the one basically who called the play, and Russell Okung, he was very upset on the offensive line. They needed 1 yard, and instead of handing off to McCaffrey, which is their star running back, he made a play to hand off to the running back, Alex Armand, and while Armand got stuffed, they had to turn the ball over on downs, which when they did that with 1 minute and 11 seconds left, there was really nothing else they could do. So for this week, the Panthers are playing Tampa Bay, as I said. I just hope their defense can get improved, can try to get at the quarterback, and hopefully, with knowing out whatever's going on with Jackson, like I said, at the time of this video, I don't know exactly what's going on, but I do hope that it's not a serious injury, but I just hope that those rookies and the veterans can gel together. Of course, there was no preseason. They had training and practices and things, but they didn't really have time to gel together. So the next few weeks for the Panthers are pretty much going to be something that we can say are basically are going to be learning experiences and team chemistry, which since you don't have the 4 preseason games, now you have to deal with it during the regular season. So poor tackling was another thing. That's a basic fundamental. You got to wrap your man up. So the defense bears down. The offense, like I said, run through Teddy went well. Teddy needed to get out of positions. He got and put himself in a good position to get the ball out like he needed to. Of course, Samuels was a good early target. DJ Moore. Robbie Anderson was the one who he went to the most. So he gels that. And then the Panthers, and another thing the Panthers need to do against Tampa Bay's defense is they've got to go to the run more. Now, in the first half of the game, they barely went to McCaffrey. It's like they were trying to pass, and McCaffrey's your man. And if you notice from the difference from the first half to the second half is that run and attack and what McCaffrey was able to do in running the ball more when they were more consistent, because that's what's been working with the Panthers the last 2 to 3 years is that run. That run sets up the pass. So I'm happy with Bridgewater's abilities. I hope that the offensive line gets a little bit stronger, which I know they will. McCaffrey, open up those holes for McCaffrey to get through. And also in that defense, they've got to rush that quarterback, put some pressure on Brady to make some mistakes, because last week, no sacks, no interceptions on that defense. Like I said, they're young, though. They're still young. So hopefully, folks, we'll be able to see that. I'm looking forward to that. And anyways, I'm just wanting to hope that you all enjoyed this video. I tried to keep it as short as I could, and hopefully the Panthers will come back. I'll try to get back at you with a review after the game is over. So until next time, Panther fans, this is Bill Mack with the Panther Prowl, and keep pounding.